I'm going to talk about the parable of the rich man and Lazarus, which is in Luke chapter 16. So let's start with a few statistics. The richest 1% of the world's population produce 15% of the world's carbon emissions. Half of England is owned by less than 1% of England's population. Almost a quarter of England's household wealth is owned by the richest 1% of the population. It's human nature to say that's just not fair. In fact, it's downright immoral. It's tempting to get really angry with rich people. So I love a story that brings justice to the poor. I bet you do too. I love it when downtrodden Cinderella goes from rags to riches, and when Robin Hood robs from the rich to give to the poor. It's satisfying. And I really, really love it when poor Lazarus, after a lifetime of humiliation, gets to live for all eternity in heaven. Of course, it's easy and it's right to have sympathy for Lazarus, who longed for the scraps from the rich man's table. In stories, we empathise with the underdog. Nobody is ever rooting for the wicked stepmother or the sheriff of Nottingham. But there's a twist in this parable. Jesus devotes most of the story to the rich man and his terrible remorse, not Lazarus. It's not just about the good news that a poor man can be rewarded in heaven. Lazarus doesn't even have a voice in this parable, but the rich man does. In fact, he has a long and emotionally intense conversation with Abraham. The rich man pleads and begs for mercy in an uncomfortable echo of Lazarus begging at the rich man's gate. No mercy is forthcoming. He had his chance on earth and he blew it. Now he is trapped in agony. Clearly, Jesus wants us to think deeply about the choices that rich man made. When I read this parable, with mounting discomfort, I realise I'm the rich man, not Lazarus. I'm guessing you are too. When we ignore the beggar outside the co-op in Rains Park, we're the rich man. When we don't make a donation to the food bank outside Waitrose, we're the rich man. When we don't question why those food banks are even necessary, why there is a massive increase in their use, then we are most definitely the rich man. Like I said, this is not a comfortable thing to think about. But Jesus is asking us to think about it. What exactly is the rich man's crime? It seems to be not just that he is rich, but rather that he was completely oblivious to the poor man's suffering, and that he ignored the teachings of Moses and the prophets on this issue. We have a great advantage over the rich man in this parable. We can hear the warning that came too late for him. How we choose to help the poor is up to us. Perhaps it will be with our money, perhaps with our time, perhaps with our love, even with campaigning for political change. It's not always easy. But for me, it does seem that Jesus is demanding that we at least try. Don't just get angry, do something.